like to call this pied in A minor. No.
Boo, you suck. Boo.
No, it's a joke, like Pied Piper, with flute. Pied Piper and the kids. No, not cancelling. Please, Adobe Premiere gods, grant me the power of video editing and let me go back to the time before making this joke. Hi, I'm Bogdan, YouTube. Please, this video isn't for kids. Please, YouTube, don't send cope after me. Please, YouTube, I clicked not for kids. Please, YouTube, please. Voicorek, and today we're going to remake Kids Hit the Fan. Alright, so kids. What are they? Sunt drăguți. I find them kinda annoying. I think they're scary. And I'll tell you why. So a couple of months back I had the misfortune to go to a baptism. Now, if you do not know what a baptism is, imagine a flamboyant lumberjack dunking a baby like Michael Jordan in a vat of water. Something like this. Now, had my involvement been only of the passive kind, I would have left the story behind. But no, the gods, i.e. the parents, had other plans. They decided it's time to play Don't Drop the Baby. Dude, why are parents so happy to let anyone hold their baby? How do you know I can hold a baby? Like, look at my forearms. Fucking twigs. And you want me to hold this Michelin Man looking thing? But here I was, with big chungus in my arms. Oh, and the thoughts that were orbiting my mind.
You're gonna drop the baby. The baby? Dropped. You feel the need to sneeze. If you sneeze, baby shocked for life. Oh my god, why is the baby's head so mushy? You held the baby's head too tight. What have you done?
Like, I love horror movies, but holding a baby is a frightening, harrowing experience. Never again. Well, until the next time. What am I gonna do? Refuse the parents? Pfft, I don't need those kinds of enemies in my life. And there's gonna be a next time, because people bang. And something I've sometimes wondered is, how do you get a boy or a girl from a biological sex perspective? Scientifically speaking, it is quite easy. So each parent contributes with 23 chromosomes to the embryo. So 23 pairs. And one of those pairs determines the sex of the baby. Either XX or XY. Usually. But what I am truly wondering is whether you can nudge the scale towards one sex or the other. And the answer seems to be yes. And believe me, I've conducted an exhaustive research, reading up on sites such as Huggies, Baby Spot, and Belly. Now there are various ways in which you can swing the sex pendulum. But the ones that caught my eye, and judging by some of the comments, the uterus of the ladies, are these. If you want to have a girl, numero uno, avoid having orgasms. Deux, avoid deep penetration. Now you know what that means. Mom, you lucky lady. Oh, Mom, I'm sorry. Mwah. Love you. What it also means is that I'm destined to only have girls. Now, a thing that is often said about kids is how innocent they are. But I remember 2 years ago that I was with a girl at the supermarket, and walking towards us there was a mom with her boy. And as we passed them, I looked back, and the boy was looking straight at the ass of the girl I was with. And I can't really blame him. Like, I remember the first time I realized I like girls. So I was watching this movie called Hocus Pocus, and there was this girl called Vanessa Shaw, and I was so smitten with her that I just started doing math. Math. Okay, so she was 13 in the movie, and the movie was released in 1993. And I watched the movie in 1999, so... No! I'm too young for her. And I was too young for her. She was actually 24, and I was heartbroken. And 7. But 7 seems to be old enough, apparently. Because now in the world there is a thing called child labor, where roughly 150 million children, instead of being children, doing children stuff and advancing their education, are instead overworked, underpaid, and at risk of being victims of child trafficking. Now, it would be quite easy to shake my fist at the sky and just blame corporations for exploiting poor countries for cheap labor, but I'm to blame too. Like the shirt I'm wearing. It's made in Bangladesh, and Bangladesh isn't exactly known for being the best at combating child labor. Sure, I try to live a frugal lifestyle, giving in to consumerism as little as possible, but the problem doesn't seem to be that simple. There seems to be a catch-22, where if you continue to buy phones, clothes or beauty products made in or with materials from third world countries, you indirectly support child labor. But if you stop or companies stop being involved with third world countries, then the children and their families suffer financially, and who knows what unforeseen consequences might arise. Even so, it's not all doom and gloom, because between 2000 and 2016, child labor was reduced by roughly 90 million. And there seems to be a concerted effort by groups such as UNICEF and International Labour Organization to abolish illegal child labor. But the progress is dwindling and there's a lot of work ahead. But not all child labor is frowned upon. Actually, one that is not only kindly looked on but highly encouraged is the one done by child performers. Now, I don't really have much experience in this domain, but something I read last year kinda stuck with me. So last year I read a list with the top earners on YouTube. And much to my surprise, the top earner wasn't PewDiePie or... I don't know. But the top earner was Ryan Kaji, the face of Ryan's World, with an estimated earning of $26 million. Something that you should know is that YouTube prohibits children under the age of 13 to create a YouTube account, but a loophole is actually having one of your parents do it. So Ryan is 9 years old, and the channel was created in 2015, and it has uploaded a video roughly every single day since then. Even so, I've got to respect the grind. But I can't help but grind my teeth at the dynamic in that family. Like, there has to be a lot of pressure on that child, given that he's the provider in that family. And boy, the parents are milking it. Ryan has deals with Walmart, Target, and Amazon, where his face is plastered on anything that could, not necessarily should, be advertised to kids. But the thing that struck a chord with me is the fact that he has 25 million subs, whilst I... don't. Now that would have been enough to make me spiral into existential nihilism, but then I found out about Vlad and Nikki, a channel that was created around the same time I uploaded my last video in 2018, and a channel that now has almost 20 billion views and roughly 40 million subscribers. Real Bogdan. Real Bogdan. I don't feel too good.
Ei, hai acum, doar pentru că doi copii au reușit în ultimii 2 ani să adune de 638.709 ori mai mulți abonați decât a reușit în ultimii 5 ani. Asta nu înseamnă acum că... hai că o să fie bine. Nu mai am baterie? Nici semnal, bip, bup, pop.
Much like a balloon at the end of a party, I feel deflated. But before ending it...
What?
The video.
Oh, yeah, that's a shame.
But before ending the video, there is still a question that needs to be answered. Is this video better, much better than the original one? I don't really know, but I really hope so. This is the end. Thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.